Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Monica Graves, and I am here to help you with your Monday morning mindset. And I'm very excited about today's topic. It's the last chapter of my book called Inner Being Imbalance. And it's that last letter of the word balance. And so I know that we all are looking for balance in our life with our work and with our play, with our lives in general. And I wrote this book back in November of 2020. So we all know what happened in 2020. And it was a great opportunity for me to just express myself, express some of the things that I personally had gone through in life. And then when COVID hit, there was a lot of stress, a lot of wondering, and I just put, all my thoughts, pen to paper, and just started expressing the way I felt. And it really helped me personally to grow and to expand. And so we're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Okay. There we go. So I do this 22-day challenge. I do it in person, but next year in 2024, I'm going to actually do the whole seminar on a webinar so that it will be available and recorded, and we'll put it out there to everybody with the Agent Collective. And so really what I want to show you is the 7 principles that I go over. And these are the 7 chapters of my book. And the first one's believing. Okay. Starts with a B, believing in yourself, the first step to becoming a master at anything. Believing really is probably the most important step, the most important chapter, is because you really do have to believe in yourself, and you also have to believe in these other 6 principles. So then A for allowing, we talked about that, allowing yourself to receive, let go of any kind of resistance in order for you to gain more in life. You have to let down that barrier of you not deserving. Okay. And so you just allow the best to come to you. And then learning, we learn from our mistakes. Really, there are no failures. Every time something happens in your life, you sort of just what we call live and learn, and just keep living, go with it. Once it's in the past, let it be in the past. Don't keep bringing it back up. Just learn from it and move forwards. And then affirming, that's where you're going to learn from those mistakes and start affirming new beliefs, okay? Creating and repeating positive affirmations so that you can learn from, what you're affirming. I like to do affirmations in the morning to start my day, and those positive affirmations will just carry you forward in the day as well. And then nurturing, taking time daily, nurture your body, your mind, soul, eat well, exercise, take care of that body, that temple that you live in, and that will help with your mindset. And it helps you to love yourself more, which is what's really important. And then celebrating. Okay, this is the month that we celebrate life. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Hanukkah. There's so many holidays that we can celebrate. And then we go into that new year of celebrating the past of the year that we currently had. Anytime you can do something adventurous. Saturday night I went dancing. We had so much fun dancing. I haven't danced in a long time. And it was just celebrating life, celebrating friends. It's not all just about celebrating a birthday. Celebrate the people around you. Anytime you can say I love you, it just matters so much. And that's celebrating that person in your life. And then we're going to talk about expanding. So today, what expanding means to me is that aspect of your thoughts, expanding your thinking to reach greater success. And when it comes to expanding, there's a lot of different ways to think about it. So I'm going to find the screen as soon as we get here on expanding. Hold 1 second to put my glasses on. And sorry about this. Okay. There it is. Okay. So we've all heard, what you focus on expands. I hope you've heard of that. What that really means is, see if I can get it here. Oops. Nope. Bigger for you. So what this means is after you have created, these first 6 habits that I've talked to you about as a daily ritual, you want to focus on them. You begin to expand all kinds of areas into your life. So visualization is the way to help you with expanding your thoughts. And, again, what you focus on expands. So if you are focusing on things that are not going well in your life, what happens is that starts to expand. That starts to expand in your life, the things that you don't want. If you are focusing on not having a partner or not having someone to share things with in your life, well, what's going to happen is you're shutting off and you're putting up a resistance and not allowing that partner to come into your life. So visualization, when you start visualizing what you really do want, that's the process of using your imagination. And when you use your imagination for that desired result, you'll start to see it and then believe it. So have you ever heard, I'll believe it when I see it? Just switch that around. See it first in your mind and then believe it. Okay, for example, if you want a new place to live, okay, picture that house or that apartment that you really desire. That's why vision boards are so powerful, because you pick something that you want to look at and it helps you to visualize it in your mind. And then once you see it, then you can actually feel that it's already true. When you feel that it's already true, put that feeling in it and affirm that you'd actually deserve this. I deserve this home. And walk around inside the home in your mind. Do that as a daily routine. Practice that visualization every single day. What you're doing is you're turning it over to the universe. You're turning it over to your higher self. And then that starts to make things happen for you. You've probably read the book or saw the movie The Secret. It was pretty much that same kind of thing, where if you really want something in your life, you have to open it up and let go of all the barriers. Let go of the feeling that you don't deserve it, because when you shut off that opening by saying, I don't really deserve this, or I don't understand why I can't make this happen, you're putting doubt on it. You have to really, really, truly believe. And so combining your beliefs, allowing things to happen, learn from things that happen, because what I have found by practicing this visualization is a lot of times, if you don't believe it, and if you're not allowing things to happen, you're going to learn that a lot of other things are going to happen. Okay, because once you open yourself up, there will be some things that'll happen, and you'll ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But just learn from it, okay? And then go back to that aspect of visualizing the way you really want it, and then start affirming. affirming that you deserve it. I like to use the word enjoy. I enjoy living in this amazing home. I enjoy uh, going out and being with friends during this Christmas season. And so what you're doing is when you're putting the word enjoy into it, it puts a feeling. So you can't just like write down affirmations and not have feeling about them, because if you do that, nothing really is going to happen. You have to always surround it with feeling, nurturing those thoughts, okay, putting power to those thoughts, celebrating when those things happen, and then visualization, again, is going to help expand your focus. So really what I want to express again with my book is on the expanding part is think about, I put a quote in here. It says, and you've probably heard this quote before, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So think about when you're focusing on your gift to the world. When you know that you have a gift and you expand on who you are, expand on giving back, because people, once you open yourself up to receiving, people are going to give back to you so much. And that's why I like teaching my course. The gratitude that people give, once they start doing some of the principles and practicing, the gifts that come back to me are, I can't even explain how much gratitude comes back. And when you feel that gratitude from others, then I have a gift. I want to keep giving this gift. And so it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like I have a purpose. And that's the same way that you can feel with this unbelievable job that we have of helping people find a home to live in. Because it is their money that they're spending, but you're being an advisor and you're using your gifts to help advise them in the right way. And so what you're doing with that gift of helping people buy or sell a home, you need to feel that you have a purpose. With that purpose, people will feel it. They'll start to respect you. And by the way, if people don't see that you have a gift, and if people don't respect you, just move on. I've let a lot of people go in this business. I've been doing this for 30 years. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't going to feel your energy. They're going to be shut off from your positive energy. And if you come across those types of people and then you ask yourself, what can I do to make things better? And you keep trying and it still isn't working, then I would say it's not worth you working with them. It's not worth being around toxic people that are just going to bring you down, because what happens is they're so much full of toxicity that you carry that, but sometimes it'll get into your mindset. And then you go to meet with somebody else that loves and respects you, and you're doing a great job with them. And then they feel like something is off. And it's because you just carried that toxic stuff from that last buyer or seller, and you are flowing and going into that next person, and they feel it and they think something's wrong. So I always let go of those people that they don't seem to respect me. They don't seem to see or listen to me, because a lot of times they need to listen. And once you let them go, it feels so good. You feel like, you've just left this big weight that you were carrying around, and you let them move on. Sometimes I don't even refer them, because that person or that agent that I refer to are like, oh my gosh, why did you refer these people to me? And then that starts a bad relationship. So I always just let these people move on. And I hope you learn from this, because you will have some people like that in your business. And it's just, even with friends, I've had to let go of some friends that are sort of like vampires, and you can't expand to your bigger self when you've got somebody sucking and making you smaller. That vampire part of it. If you ever feel that, if you ever feel like somebody's doing that to you, pray on it, let them go, and move on, because you will be a much bigger, better self instead of you always trying to make that person feel better. You cannot make somebody else feel better. I know that you think that you can, but the only way you're going to be able to expand is loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and let go of those people that don't serve you. So another thing I want to talk to you about is during the pandemic. So in my book, I wrote about, COVID. And there's, during that time, we had a lot of different types of thoughts. And so what I felt like is, I felt frustrated a lot with the professional challenges, and I really wanted to get back to work. I wanted to feel safe. That feeling of not feeling safe can make you also feel smaller. And so if you can always focus on feeling safe in your job, safe in your life, you will also be able to expand more in your thoughts instead of having these negative thoughts. And so I always say, try something new. Try a new hobby. That will help to expand your mind as well. And it also helps you to meet new people so that you could expand your list of people that you can help in your business. So I started cross-stitching, had a lot of time to spare. In the cross-stitching, I put a little group together, and it carried after COVID, because we were doing it via Zoom and just talking and sharing things. But then once we were allowed to get out together, formed a little group of people, and we would get together and do this. And so think about something that you can do as a hobby that you can invite people into your life. That's another form of expanding, because you are actually sharing who you are, putting a group of people together. Maybe it's a book club. Maybe you do something like that. But Ernest Holmes is The Science of Mind is a book that I have done the course. A Course in Miracles is another great place to read these types of things. But what Ernest Holmes said, he's the author of Science of Mind, he says, unless we are constantly expanding our thoughts, we're not growing. So that part of it means growing, growing in learning, growing in something new that you want to do. Another quote is, when we ask for anything, we are to believe that we already have it. But we are to ask only for that we want in unity with our life. So what that means is you want to make sure that when you do affirmations and you do ask for things that you want and you're expanding your thoughts on it, visualizing it, you want to make sure that, is this something that you really want? Because when you ask for something and you receive it, sometimes it can be something that will cause a lot of friction. And so, some people always say, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire. Well, make sure that those are really the things that you want, or maybe you're just comfortable making great income, but not having all of the things that come with the money aspect of it. Or if you have too many homes, I've had people say that, I wish I hadn't bought that fifth home. Maybe they were just fine with 2 homes or 3 homes. So always think about that aspect of when you are asking for something, is it something that you truly, truly want? And the way to do that is do the pros and cons. So we did that when we bought our second home up in Grand Lake. We put down the pros and the cons. It was going to be a big house, lots of maintenance. But then we put down the cons. Here are the cons of what it was going to be. And then we put down the pros, and the pros outweighed the cons. So I suggest that you do that type of exercise anytime you think that you want something. Lay it down on paper, think about it, and then if it is something that's going to have a lot of pros, then you start expanding your thoughts on it, on really why you want it. Let me go here. This chapter is a great chapter. I talk about, meditation, mindfulness as part of your visualization. Visualization really only takes about 30 seconds. So if you think of something that you want to do, or even if you're visualizing to calm yourself down, if you've got some stress, visualization will expand on the aspect of calming yourself down versus expanding on that stressful feeling. Okay, so we all know that when you have a lot of stress, what happens is that energy that you're forming around yourself is causing to attract more stress. So if you want to expand on feeling calm, then I suggest doing things that are more meditational. Get out of that aspect of, if you're sitting behind your computer, I suggest every hour getting up and stretching, doing yoga, meditate for 2 or 3 minutes. And then when you get back in front of your computer, you're going to be energized and you're going to expand on more positive things because you've just opened yourself up to less stress. If you continue to sit and do a lot of stressful things and focus on that stress, you're actually causing it to happen more. It's just the way science works. And so another exercise that you could do before you actually go out into the day is start slow. So when you get up, make sure that you want to feel as big as you can. So I always form my arms up like this. I'm open to the universe to bring me amazing things to happen today. And that's all as soon as I get up from out of the bed. Because if you get up out of the bed and you are focusing on, I wish I didn't have to get up, I don't look forward to this day, and you surround yourself with that type of energy, well, that's what you're going to bring into the day. You're going to actually bring, this unhappiness, this feeling of you really don't want to be here. And then more and more of that, because the universe is just like, oh, I'm going to give you everything you want. Well, that's the way the universe works. So if you open up with a few questions, questions like, how do I want my day to look? And be open to it. And visualize how you want your day to work. I'm going to go to this listing consultation. These sellers are going to be very open to what I have to say. They are going to work with me. And always, put that smile on your face when you're thinking these thoughts as well, because it feels really good. Another would be, in the morning, ask yourself, how will I feel the most alive? What makes me feel the most alive? And do it. So a lot of times people feel, oh, I don't have time for that hike. I don't have time to go and visit, these old friends. Well, if you say you don't have time, then you don't, right? If you say, you know what, I'm going to make time. I'm going to make time to take that hike today. I'm going to make time to go visit those old friends. I'm going to make those phone calls and feel good about it. Don't put a drudgery on making your phone calls, because the phone calls actually can make you feel good. When I make phone calls, I put a big smile on my face and I say, how can I make this person's day? And when they answer, they might be having a bad day. And you're like, hey, I was just thinking about you. How's your day going? If they start off with, oh, it's not going very well, how can I make your day better? Would you like to meet for lunch? Would you like for for happy hour? How about breakfast tomorrow morning? You know, what you're doing right there is that aspect of putting purpose in your life. You're expanding on the thoughts of how can I help? And when you put those thoughts into helping others, you are going to get back so much more in life, because when you're helping others, they love you, they respect you, they will talk about you to others. And then before you know it, you've got somebody else that you can actually help with their day, help with their business. Doing business to business is also a great way of helping. So if you've got another entrepreneur that you know that owns a business, reach out to them, ask them how you can help. As a realtor, we can help in all kinds of ways when people own small businesses, whether it's a restaurant and you want to say, how can I bring more people into your restaurant by giving a discount? You know, maybe it's a free drink on you when they go to that restaurant. I had a car wash open near me, and I went by and I said, hey, I know you're new in the neighborhood, and Colorado has one of the dirtiest cars in the United States. I know you're going to do great, but would you mind if we share and do business to business together, and you offer free car washes to my clients? So it was great. I had a reason to call. I felt really good about it. I'm going to help wash this person's car, and it's not going to cost anything to them. Everybody loved it. It was a great way to make phone calls and say, hey, I've got something for you. I'd love to meet with you. During Christmas, offer help or any kind of charitable event. What you're doing when you work with charities, or if you put something together yourself, you're expanding who you are. You're expanding your thoughts on goodness. You're expanding on that helpfulness. And the only thing that can come from it is goodness. So when you start working on expanding that part of your mind, expanding that part of feeling, you know, when you feel good about doing something, when you feel good about yourself. And I'd like to end with sharing this little story, because it helps you to see how judgment can cloud your expansion. Because when you judge something and you judge it negatively, it's almost like you just put on a blindfold and you don't want to see anything good in life. And so you're shutting down that expansion of who you are, that expanding of your thoughts. And the story is really cute. So it's about a couple that moved into a new neighborhood, and they were sitting at their breakfast table looking out the windows, and the next door neighbor had their clothes hanging on a clothesline, and they were drying, and the wife's like, oh, look how dirty their clothes are. They must need to use new soap. And then the husband, you know, looked out there and he saw the same thing. And so this went on every morning for several days. And she just kept judging them, just kept saying, you know, I can't believe they need to use new soap. Their clothes are just so dirty. And so the one morning woke up, they're sitting at the breakfast table, and the wife looks out and goes, oh, wow, their clothes are finally clean. They must have changed soap. And the husband said, no, I just washed our windows and now you can see clearly. So think about stuff like that, where you judge something and you don't really know the truth. We've all done it, right? We all judge something and we don't know the circumstances of something, and we're seeing through a dirty window. Okay, so that's it for our Monday Mindset. I hope you enjoyed this topic of expanding, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. This is the time for celebrating, it's time for giving, the time for loving, and the time for expanding. All right, Have a great one.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.